So let me take you way back in the 1990s. I was in a grunge band called Packet. I was big time into grunge, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Mudhoney, and a whole bunch of the underground grunge acts that were out at the time. Definitely like looking for new bands to sort of hear different sounds and things like that. Screaming Trees, there's so many other bands that I used to listen to back in the day from that kind of style. Picture this: it's in college, in the grunge style band, I had a PV Dual 212, and let me tell you, that thing was heavy. Oh, lugging that thing around. All tube combo, 212 setup on there. Had nice cleans. The distortion wasn't my favorite, if I remember right. So one day I had the bright idea of saving up for it. I'm trying to remember if I saved up for a long time or not for this, probably. And what I did is I liked the idea of a floorboard that had all the effects in it, and then I could save presets, and then I could go through and have, for each song, I could have whatever sound that I wanted. So I went ahead and invested into the Digitech RP1 floorboard. And this had all of that stuff in there. And it was promised, having all the different sounds, the flexibility and everything like that. If I remember right, I think I had some analog circuitry in there as well too. But it's a very, very cool device, very way ahead of its time back in the day. And so what I did is at one practice I brought it in and I plugged it into my PV Dual 212, and let's just say it had the typical thing with digital effects back in the day. The presets, loaded with like heavy reverb, heavy delay, heavy choruses and all that. They didn't just add a little bit in there, they added a shit ton. But let's just say that my bandmates, they seemed a little quiet that day. Who knows what they're thinking? I think I know what they're thinking, but let's just say I don't think it made everyone very happy, because we're coming from the other guitarist I played with. He's got a JCM 800 Marshall set up. I think he had a combo for a while and even had the head and cabinet before. What guitar do you have? He had the Hammer with the P90s. I had my Paul Reed Smith back in the day. Yeah, I mean, everything, it would have sounded better if I just plugged straight into the amp. Fast forward a little bit longer, I'm playing with this. I'm probably annoying the living shit out of them with this, with all my crazy effects and stuff like that. I might have made some patches, but, as a college kid, I probably didn't really tinker with it too much. I remember going back later on and to practice, and then I remember stepping on the one of the pedals, and I was like, man, this thing's kind of it's sticking. What the hell? Okay, well, whatever. Let me press it a couple more times, and it got a little bit better, where it would actually basically press and then release, and it was doing what it was supposed to do. It's like, that's kind of weird. That's odd. Fast forward a couple more days and stuff, and all of a sudden the other pedals are doing the same kind of thing. And I noticed the little screen, I can't remember if it was an LCD screen or something like that, it started glitching and acting weird. And then, let's just say it got to a point where I couldn't use it anymore. So I had to, pull it off and use some of my other effects. And to be honest, it's probably a good thing, because it wasn't the best sounding thing out there. But it's the idea of a modeler that has everything there. I was looking for something, and it just wasn't available at the time. This is the 90s and all that. Later on, maybe I'm going to say a couple months to at least a year or so, maybe even longer than that, I had a conversation with the other guitarist, and I remember we talked about that RP1. Like, I remember the RP1, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah. It's like, I hate to tell you this, but something happened one night. And I'm like, what do you mean, what happened? He's like, I think he told me the name of who did it, but basically they were hanging out and they're drinking a little wine, getting their drink on. And someone happened to be probably a little smashed and probably like, oops, oh know. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, or if it was just an accident. But yeah, let's just say a little red wine got into the pedals and got into the cracks on there, and yeah, it eventually fried my unit. So yeah, red wine, yeah, took up my RP1. Like I said, to be honest, it was probably a good thing in the long run, because the tone it sucked out the tone. Just glassy sounds. It wasn't full. It wasn't like a tube amp or anything like that. I'm sure if I tweaked it, I could have gotten a little bit better, but I was a kid. I didn't mess with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, things happen, and whoever did it, I just want you to know I forgive you. It's okay. We're all good now. So that's my story about my first floorboard sort of modeler from back in the day. Fast forward to now, and yeah, I wanted to kind of go over some of the floorboards and pedals and stuff that are out these days. And yeah, there's a couple different ones you're always going to hear about. The Neural DSP Quad Cortex, that's super popular, and it's got the touchscreen on there. The Fractal audio system, there's the FN9, and I think they came out with a smaller version, AM4 or something like that. Yeah, the FM9 Mark II Turbo is the one that's out. There's the Kemper that was super popular back in the day. That was a profiler amp. Yeah, profiler system, like a head, and you can also get that in it's called the Kemper Profiler Stage Mark II is the new one that just got released. And then the Line 6 Helix Stadium, which is the one that I eventually went with. And I'll tell you why I went with that one. Like I said, I'm not trying to be, this isn't one of those things I'm trying to push anything on anyone, just trying to talk about the state of modeling right now. And there's been some interesting developments within the past few years, I'd say at least 2 years ago, where certain things came out that kind of shook up the industry, that I'm very excited about that as well too. If you want to, there's plenty of videos that compare all these, that compare all the sounds and all that kind of stuff. And here's the thing is, I was looking for innovative workflow, or intuitive workflow, innovative features and value, get the most for your money on there. As far as the sound quality, you would think that I would put that as number one. And to be honest, if you listen to any of these modelers, they're all awesome. They all sound great. You can get workable amp sounds. I've had the Helix LT for years, and I've been super happy with that. Now the difference is there's the Helix Stadium. The reason why I went with that is I didn't get the scribble strips before. It's got the showcase feature, which I got a video on that if you want to check that out. That is just handles the innovative side. It's trying things that haven't been done before within a floorboard pedal. And I'm really excited about that. If you're talking value and everything, there's been, like I said, a big shakeup that's been going on, where there's an open source solution. It's called the Neural Amp Modeler, NAM for short, and it's completely free. You can just download it, and it's on par, if not better, with, from what I've heard, with a Kemper. And I'm going to try this out sometime just to do it. I know everyone's done videos for this and all that kind of stuff. I'm more doing it for myself just to do it. And then I'll show you what I have for a video later on down the line. But that'll be just me for doing it for fun and just for trying out. I know they have a website, Tone 3000, that you can get a whole bunch of profiles on that people put out there. But it sounds like that's changing as well too. So yeah, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. It's just all this new stuff that's happening with profiles and things like that. I know Tone X just upgraded theirs. That's supposed to be close to the free option, but not quite as good. I don't know. I'm going off of what people say. I don't know if that's true or not. There's also the Quad Cortex. This came out the new version, which same thing with that. That one's supposed to be really good. As far as profiling different amps. Now with profiling, there's a difference. With modeling, it's more of you can tweak a model where you can change your sound however you want, like for EQ and everything, and it matches the actual amp, drive, all that kind of stuff like that. With a profiler, it's more of a snapshot where you can save a profile, and it's everything that you have within your chain, your mics, how your amp is set. And each time you make a profile, a lot of times you have to go through and put a very detailed description of all the settings, like do you have pedals in front of it, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it's something that you can't really modify and change as you're doing it. But you know, if you're going through and you just want something to get a good sound and get some quick inspiration, it's like a preset. It's all done for you all together, and you can get some really, really, really good sounds from the demos I've heard. Like I said, I'm gonna try this out myself soon. I'm gonna try out the plugin and see what the talk's all about. Yeah, like I said, I'm late to the party. I'm like 2+ years late to this, but you know what? I'm gonna try it out and have a little fun with it. With the Helix, it's I know it has like the modern visual design for the routing options that they've had with the Helix. They didn't really exactly pioneer it, but it sort of made it popular. And I know other modelers have sort of, I wouldn't say copied it necessarily, but it's very similar design and everything like that. Now with the Helix, they added the touchscreen, and let me just say, compared to the old Helix, oh, it's such a welcome thing. I didn't think I would actually use it, but being able to turn on my Helix, have it run into, I have an Audient Nero speaker distribution thing, you know, where it can run straight to my studio monitors. I basically run it into that. I don't have to turn on my computer. I gotta go DAW-less. I hate that term, but yeah, I'm going DAW-less. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's just nice, you know, turn on that, turn on my speakers, and start rocking out and just having a little fun. And I've been doing that for, you know, creating presets and things like that. And yeah, it's just a different way of doing it. Now, there's a whole lot of things that Helix has. The showcase thing. Oh, like I said, I have a whole video to explain all that. So go check that out if you want to hear all the details. It's very detailed on there. And there's other videos that are out there that are really cool as well too. They go over that. But it is a super innovative thing where it's like backing tracks, on steroids, because you can add flags for, you know, a flag that hits a point within a song. You can change your preset within, like, say, as soon as you go to your intro or your bridge or whatever it is, you change the preset for that section. And there, you can also do MIDI hotkeys. Again, watch the video and check all that kind of stuff out. But it is awesome. It's so much fun. And I'll be doing live shows with that, or live streams, things like that for it. It's designed, it's very innovative. Also, another thing that's innovative with this one is that, and a lot of people don't talk about this, it's called Nexus. It's a new protocol, and they have a connector on the back of it. It looks like an Ethernet jack, very similar to what the Variax used to have for the Variax connector. And there's going to be a new hardware add-on to it where you can plug in your Variax and everything to a separate box. I think it's D10 or something like that. Future-proofs it. It's one of those things. That's one reason why I like the Stadium, is that with this one connector, you can have the separate box, and technically, from what I've heard, you can daisy chain 3 of these, and the latency is 3 samples, not milliseconds or anything. They said 3 samples, which that's pretty awesome. It's very, very close to real time. So you shouldn't have to worry about all that kind of stuff with delay when you add these extra modules and stuff. As other things come out from other companies, new ideas come out, they want to try something different that's innovative, you just connect that one thing to it, and it keeps your Helix Stadium relevant for years to come. That's one reason why I think they want to. They designed this to support this for, what do you say, in the release, like 10 years or something like that. So 10, hopefully plus. It's the Nexus thing seems very, very cool, and I'm excited to see what it is. Now, one thing for value, here's the thing with Stadium, is that when they released it a long time ago, with all the old pods and things like that, you would have to get model packs. So you'd have to spend an extra $50-$100 for each one of these model packs to add on here. What I like about the new system that Fractal Audio probably pioneered, and that the Helix Line 6 has also, they're doing as well, which I greatly appreciate this, is that They're not charging for individual model packs. They just do firmware updates, and it keeps the device relevant. And what it does is that it keeps it so it doesn't fragment the users, where you have some people that have the device, but then they have certain models and stuff like that that they purchase separately. No. With this, everyone has everything. So it makes it more of a community thing where you can share presets and things like that. For creating sounds and all that, everyone's on the same level. I'm sorry. Having to go out and buy separate plugins once you've bought something that costs as much as some of these things cost is ridiculous. And I understand there's programming, there's time into it and stuff like that, but you can make your money through other ways. I don't mind purchasing actual physical hardware as an add-on. That's fine. As far as for the models and things like that, that should be it should be firmware updates for everything. Like I said, for extra plugins, it feels like people are nickel and diming you over time, and like, oh, you want this? Here's a little carrot. You need to pay an extra $170 or $200 or whatever it is for it. That is one big advantage of the Helix Stadium, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I stick with line 6. Hopefully that doesn't change in the future. If it does, that's going to not be good for either the company or anything. But from what I've heard, they're keeping that, and that's awesome. And Fractal, from what I've heard, is doing the same thing as well too. Yeah, it's just fragmentation. It kills collaboration. And I can do other things too as well, where if I have a preset and Buddy John, he's got the HX Stomp, and we were trading presets between my Helix and his, and it's just fun, It's like, hey, check this out, see what you think. It's like, yeah, I think I could use that on a song and all that. It's pretty cool being able to share stuff like that. So yeah, if any of y'all want to check out my presets and stuff, I have them on my website. It's AfterAudio.com/Helix and all that. But yeah, you can check those out as well too. Yeah, I really like the state of modeling these days. The sound is just there. They all sound amazing. It doesn't matter which one you pick. They all are good. And if you want to go for value, NAMM is the one to go because it's completely free. It is a plugin. And the reason why I like the Helix is a physical device that has foot switches on there, and the interface, the workflow. Oh, it's so great. You can customize your foot switches. You have all the different modes in there. They just thought of everything with this. It's just the only barrier is your imagination with this stuff now. And the sounds are all there. Any of these devices, they're all there. So just pick whatever works for you. So I'm curious, do any of y'all have any wild and crazy stories out there for certain band situations that happen? Did someone pour a beer in your amp or on your pedals or on your guitar? And I mean, these things happen. You're having a good time, and one thing leads to the next, and yeah, it's always fun to hear about fun little stories like that. So let's see what else. Modeling, we talked about that. So I'd like to know, with all the modeling choices that are out there, what did you pick, or what are you thinking about going with? We're in a very awesome, time where everything just sounds so good. It's more about the features and things like that, the extra things that make your life, easier to work with and all that. And really it's about finding what works for you. I mean, they're all good. It doesn't matter. Just go with what works for you. So beyond that, I have Helix Presets. So if anyone has a Helix out there, you can go to my website and then just /Helix on there. And go ahead and check those out. Download them. It's my way of being able to, have things out in the community. And like I said, that's why I went with the Helix, because with firmware updates and all that, everyone has all the same models. So it's very good for collaboration and things like that. So yeah, definitely check them out if you want to. Also, if you'd like to support my channel, do the usual stuff and, all that kind of stuff like that, I would greatly appreciate that. Any kind of interaction always helps the YouTube algorithm gods out there, or it's not gods, but the computers that are Oh, wait. I'm not going to talk about that, all the AI stuff, but yeah, let's keep this happy. Let's not go there. No, not a good idea. I want you all to have a wonderful year. Thank you all for taking your time to watch this, and take care of yourselves. And I appreciate you all very much. So see y'all later. Bye.